Whatever you see now there's other history to that to get to this point. Even I have faults. So my journey to what people see, please know it's been a journey of hard work. Just being able to be kind, not to judge people and to care. I won't walk past all that people. I don't like to care much to be in the limelight. I did go to university, didn't go well, got married when I was very young. Life is not perfect. It's about how you pick yourself up, allows you to wake up. My father passed on when I was in my early 20s. Nobody else stands out for me. Well, married one is still around the house. I don't want people to tell me what to do. How in heaven's name build strong relationships in your journey. Currently, I'm trying to finish my master's in adult education. When I think emotionally rather than analytically. What's meant to be for me to have will be.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, friends, family. Welcome to Wisdom of Solomon. I'm so excited for this episode. This is for the month of August. I had a revelation a couple of months ago for hope. And there was an acronym for each letter of hope. There's a specific meaning. And for each one of those letters, the guest that will sit maybe on the left or right hand side, they represent that letter of the word of hope. So we are by the third letter of hope, which is the P. P for perseverance. I'm going to speak later about perseverance. Anyways, let's get the formalities out of the way. We've got Mooneera here. Mooneera Isaacs. Guys, she's my boss. She's my boss. And she normally doesn't want to be recognized like that. There is just humbleness in, it's just an honor for me to have this interview with you. Because I was thinking about how am I going to approach this and have this conversation with you. And I told my wife, my daughter, and I said, I've just got a feeling I need to speak with Mooneera and have an interview with her. And they said, go for it, go. And I said, okay, if you guys are so excited, I assume thousands of people will also be excited for this interview. So this is for the month of August. Women's Month, all about women empowerment. But that's enough of me. I'm not here to talk. As I say, Mooneera Isaacs. Mooneera, welcome to Wisdom of Solomon.
Thank you, Marshall, and thank you for considering me for your you know already how I feel about being online and being in the spotlight. But anyway, I will do it because I think it's important for Women's Month that we share our stories.
For sure. So thank you, Mooneera. And then there's a lot of curious people now watching this video, and they have like questions and feel like, but who is Mooneera? There's probably people that will watch this video that already know you. Then there's people that also know you, but from a distance.
Yeah.
And today you will answer those questions. Because normally when people meet you maybe at a seminar or women's conference or wherever you are busy, and then there's certain questions, but the time doesn't allow it.
Of course.
This is the opportunity where those curious minds will be fed today. So without further ado, Mooneera, who is Mooneera? Before you talk, just the 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
You better, yes. You see that, so I must keep the watch on. I mustn't talk, because then I can go on. Okay, so I must do that for 2 minutes. So you know, it's always very difficult when you have to talk about yourself.
Is it?
It's always difficult. I find it difficult to talk about myself. But obviously I had to do some preparation, so I obviously had to really reflect, because we don't always, and I don't always think about myself and who I am. But since I had to prepare, so I had to really think about it. But I've come up with some things. I think the first thing I just want to say is that, you know, when people ask you, you know, even in interviews, you know, people always tell you all the wonderful things, and people also see you and they think that especially where people see you only where you are at now, and people don't necessarily know your history or your story. So people will look at you, and I think I've had people like that, and they'll think that, you know, where you are at, everything was rosy, your journey was perfect, because look at where you are. And so I want to first start off by saying that whatever you see now there's other history to that to get to this point. And people think that in general things must be perfect, you must have had everything, but it's not like that. And so I first want to also say that, people then also think, okay, you look perfect, you have everything sorted, you have the right thing. And I want to say that even I have faults, and I want to start with it. I'm not perfect, and there's many things which I'm very conscious about of myself. So I'm not just going to paint a rosy picture about, I have these great values and so on. It's not like that. I'm a human being just like anybody else. And so I also have my downfalls and my things, which I'm sure you too, Marshall, if you have to think about it. We're not all perfect, and I don't want people to see that, and because I'm not none of that things, okay, in terms of perfection I'm talking about. So my journey to what people see, please know it's been a journey of hard work. So again, to answer just your about who I am as an individual. So I think that just to say that I think for me, we are at this point in time, and again, my journey had to lead me to be the person who I am now. And I think my key thing for me is about people. Anything that I do, it's about people. Just being able to be kind, not to judge people, and to care. That is what I'm all about right now, whether it be my family or whether it be my colleagues or whether it be clients and people and students that I engage with. Again, it's what I try to do, which I'm conscious about, but I'm not always perfect, no? But it's what I value. Some of the things that people might not know is that people might think because you are an educator, you're always out there, you're the boss, like you said, whatever, you are an extrovert, and actually I'm not. I'm actually an introvert, and people don't realize that. So for me to actually be out, it's like a big thing. And you can ask my colleagues in the office whenever it's about, you have to do this. I'm like, do I really have to? Do I have to put myself out there? So, and I'll tell you, like, if there must be, just to give you an example, right? Sorry, I talk with my hands.
No, not a problem.
Say we were like somewhere there was a lot of people, right? And we had to walk past all that people.
Yeah.
Just to tell you to give you an example, I won't walk past all that people because I'll be too conscious. I'll walk right around somewhere else to go to the other side, and that's what I'm saying when I'm talking about. I'm an introvert. I don't like to care much to be in the limelight. I do my job because I have to be an educator, and so obviously people look at me and so on. But just to tell you, so that's the one thing I just want to tell you. Okay, another thing about me, and I'll wrap it up quickly. I think I'm an octopus, right? We attended a course not so long ago, and we had to have an animal that identified you. And even without me looking, all my colleagues already pulled that. By the time I took it, they said, yes, we saw that's you. Because an octopus has all these legs and everything that you're grabbing, and that's typical of me, always wanting to be in a pie somewhere or doing something else and not just focusing on one thing. So multitasking is something that I have to do. Maybe just a hobby of mine, I love to bake.
Nice.
If I can bake, and not just to bake, I used to do like birthday cakes and all that kind of thing. But if I bake now, it's more just as a relaxing thing, to bake something for my family, something that they enjoy. And so sometimes at night, even if it's a middle of the week night, there's pancake, there's flapjacks or something going on. So it doesn't have to be like a whole big thing, but I love to bake or make something nice, or even just cook for people. If I can cook for people, I just love it, and that I think I get from my mother. Because I think if you cook for somebody, it's like it's your effort and time that you put in that making of food and the goodness, I think, out of it. I don't know how to describe it, but for me, if I can make something for somebody and make that effort, I think that is just such a. I don't always have the time, but if I can, I would do that. And then just another thing about me, I think I'm always looking for, which I don't know if it's a good thing, but anyway, I'm always looking for how to do things better, how to be innovative, how to evolve in everything that I do, in my work especially. So that's also something that I'm always thinking about. And then, as I said, I'm not perfect. I struggle to find the balance in work and life, and I suppose that might be a question you ask because everybody says so I'm not perfect. I don't have the answer for that. But anyway, and then another thing that I think I want to emphasize this thing so that people know you're not perfect, man. When you look at celebrities, you think they like everything is like that, and so another. I wouldn't say it's a weakness of mine, but something I can't tell very good with people's emotions. Like I can't see somebody and say how they are. I am trusting and I believe everybody's whatever. So even if somebody's down, I won't just catch it. Somebody must tell me, hey, did you see? I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even see that. Because I'm just like, Anyway, so that's me, Marshall.
Not a problem. I can see where the identification comes from the octopus. But it's just keeping everything in the air and keeps everything, and also balance things out.
Yeah, no, for sure.
There's something that you mentioned about not going all your way. What is it that, say, let's take a few steps back. Years and years ago. What didn't go for you? One thing. Because these ladies sit and watching this video and think about, okay, not a problem, you're a business owner, we will get to that. But did you win the lotto and then decided to open a business? What didn't go your way?
I think, so I wouldn't say it didn't go your way. I always believe, Marshall, that your journey of life is your journey, however that is. We can do whatever is necessary to plan that journey.
Yeah.
But I think if we have faith and belief that no matter what, there's going to be challenges and so on. So for me, the general, or the way it is you go to high school. From high school, you go to a college and a university. You get a degree or you get whatever it is. From there, you go and get a job. From there, you probably find a partner. Then you get married and then you have children and all those kinds of things. So generally, I think that is what life or people's expected in terms of their journey. So for me, it didn't happen. I finished school. I did go to university. It didn't go well for me. And then I got married when I was very young. I had my children when I was very young. And then I also went to go and work immediately. Okay. And I don't think, I think, many times parents will say, the child doesn't know what to do. And that was the same for me.
Yeah.
I didn't have a cooking clue about what I enjoyed doing, where did I find myself. When some young people, when they're in matric, I don't know if it was the same for you, where you want to go to. I want to be this, I want to study this, and whatever. I didn't have my journey, just, like a river flows and the water goes in the pebbles and it turns and whatever. I think that is a description of my life. Until I got to the point of wherever it is. And I think in that time, I also had to grow as an individual and as a person, as a mother, and in my own identity, because those was also important things for me, to know who I am as an individual. And that was something I think I always kept, and I'm only thinking about it now that I'm communicating with you. I actually realized that who I am was an important thing, and how I wanted to, in my own identity of who I am and how I wanted to be in the world, whether I was a mother, a wife, in the workplace or wherever I am. And so it didn't go like that journey, but I just kept on, and I just had this, my thing was always, I wanted to achieve, I wanted to gain qualifications, I wanted to get somewhere. I didn't know where that way is, but what I always believed in, that wherever I was at, that was the purpose of that journey. Whether it was something I disliked, and there were jobs that I disliked, but I used to do it, and I used to believe this will get me somewhere. I'm going to do this because it will be the next. And so for all of my journey, I believe that whatever I've done in my past has been that journey to culminate for where I am today. And so it wasn't perfect, and I understand that the journey, and I try to encourage young people, especially if they are feeling down at a certain time. And I say to them, you're still young, your journey is still going to be long, there's going to be ups and downs and whatever. And that's the test, I think, of your strength, because life is not perfect, and we can't have everything happening. We have to have challenges because I think it makes us stronger
For sure.
as we grow older and so on. And so yeah, that is, I don't know if I
No.
think I answered the question, but yeah, it didn't go that way, but I always believed whatever I did, it will stand me in good stead. And I can tell you now, everything that I did, even if it was, I believe, and sometimes I look back, I'm like, yo, if only this didn't happen, oh, if only that. You must know, I think many of us do that.
Yes.
If only this, if only I did that, if I decided this, whatever. And eventually, if I do question myself, I eventually just say, you know what, that was your journey. Whatever that is, it wasn't perfect. You know, and I often, like many people that's in my network now are much younger than me. And they've achieved what I'm achieving now, they've already achieving at that age. So then I get a bit frustrated and I'm like, you know, why didn't it happen for me then?
Yeah.
But when you look back, you say, but it wasn't meant to be for that time.
Sure.
It wasn't meant to be. It's your time now, for whatever its reason. And I also believe that people that pass you in your path for whatever reason, there's a reason people will pass you by, and the people you will meet, they'll become something in your life. They'll have which I can say there's many people like that. And people will pass you by for whatever meaning at that point in time. You will pathways, and you just never know when you see people again.
Yeah.
And so for me, in my journey, if you ask me now, and I only think about it now, Marshall, the one key thing I always did was and I can see it coming full circle, is the people I met throughout my life, my relationships that I've built, the people I've gotten to know, how I've treated those people, and how those people have all come to the point of still being part of who I am in my journey as a business person.
Sure.
And so I really believe that how you are with people will come back, and
For sure.
Yeah, so that is that story, Marshall.
Mooneera, it's quite easier. Maybe it's gonna sound strange or crass. It's quite easier to look at a point of reference.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that you've been through that. So now you've got a broad overview of how things pan out. But when you're in that situation, there's thousands of questions.
Yeah.
And you said one of the things is that we have the timeline in our life. In this age, this needs to happen, that needs to happen. And certain things didn't happen according to your plans, your goals that you have, especially in the timeline. How did you manage? And remember what I'm saying. Now it's easier for you to say.
Yeah.
But during that time, how did you manage to stay positive? Because I mean, if for some people, they could have just let them stop there and give up. How did you manage to stay positive? What did you tell yourself? Yeah, every morning you tell yourself this in the mirror to say that nah.
Look, let me just say and if anybody thinks that you can get through it and be positive every day, well, sorry people, it's never gonna happen. You have to. There's going to be the day the time when you're really down, you struggle and so on. So if anybody tells me that every day you're positive and you will, for me it was the same. It wasn't always like that. You have to almost go, and I wouldn't say it was like a bad slump or whatever, but there were difficult times. I think for me, if I reflect back, which now it's really making me think things that I think I've even forgotten. I'm really reflecting, and lots of things are now only coming back to me. I think if I remembered what I tried to do is I would try to read positive things. I'd read, if somebody said to me, you know what, read this book, or I found a book, etc. And it wasn't like a novel or something. It was factual stuff, like things like how to change your mindset and so on. So I tried to get hold of those books, and I started reading a lot of that. And one of the things I think I picked up out of that was, whatever you're thinking, you have to change your mindset of how you think about something. If you want to think about something negatively, then it's going to be that. And the next thing is, you have to change your behavior first. Because remember that you have control over who you are, but I don't have control over you and anything else. And I think, you know, while I was also preparing for this, one thing I realized also is that I'm not too sure why I am, right? I never told you, so I'm the youngest of 4 siblings.
Okay.
I'm a baby.
Okay.
And my siblings were obviously all older than me, and by that time I think my parents were also like, you know, tired with children and so on, although I was around and so on. So I was also left a lot to my devices with my parents that were much older and so on.
Okay.
Anyway, so I often wonder, I don't know if you reflect on like, what is the core of what makes you who you are? So for example, like again, lots of the reflection I found when I was preparing and thinking about this was, I realized that, and I don't know where it comes from, but for some reason I have this this deep internal motivation of myself, of just to drive myself. And I can give you many examples of things that I did where I didn't matter what was in my way. I just went head on and I did what I wanted to do. And so I think that that's also what I've just also learned. And I think, like you were asking me, you know, how did I overcome it? So again, I don't think it was always hunky-dory.
Okay.
We all have challenges. You're going to go down, but it's about how you pick yourself up from that.
Yes.
And that, I think, is only, you can have people around that support and encourage you. But for me, I believe that I don't necessarily, I think I've grown at this point. And again, I know your question was like, what, because obviously I have a point of reference and I can look back. But at that point in time, I think the things that just drove me was my drive to want to achieve, to just be a better person and to get to a point of being in a space of your life where you feel happy, man. I don't know if that is
for sure
everybody. And I don't think it happens when you, maybe if it happens to some people in their 20s and the 30s, but I can tell you when I got to 40 and people spoke about the roaring 40s, I believe that when I got to 50, I thought that was even better.
Sure.
It's a time in your life when, you know, you don't worry, you like just, I don't know, I can't describe. Maybe it's not the same for everybody, but I just found it was like, you settle down, you don't worry over unnecessary things, you accept things, and you're just in the part of your life. I don't think you arrived, you can never say you arrived, but you almost feel like so much just a sense of, I suppose, I don't know if it's, I don't say achievement, but just of a calmness of life. I don't know if that's it. And so although life is busy and there's all kinds of things, but you know, things just don't bother. And if something bothers you, you get over it and you move on, kind of thing is. So, yeah, I don't have the answer for you because obviously I can only just talk about my own journey.
For sure.
But I want, if for anybody, it's not perfect, it's not 100%. And if you think you're going to just stay on this high of positive, I feel you have to. It's when you're feeling that downness and how are you going to pull yourself out of it? I think those are the journeys you must have because it allows you to wake up and say, you know what, everything is not, what are you going to do about it? And maybe it's a lesson out of that you're going to learn.
For sure. Mooneera, you just mentioned something about the support, but there's a question that I want to ask you. When you're in environment can influence us positive or negative. That drive that you just mentioned, yes, reading a book, seeing something on social media, maybe you met someone, they whispered something in your ear that, yes, that is positive, but you need to be influenced constantly to push through. Was that support there or what, from your family where you could have looked up to your mother or your father to say that, I want to, I'm going there?
Look, I don't, if anybody, I can only be my mother. Okay, my father passed on when I was in my early 20s already. So then it was really just my mom. So I suppose you're talking about a role model kind of person. Yes. so again, if anybody, it would probably just be my mom, because my mom was always around. My mom, I almost believe, like the way I am, if I see myself, I see my mother.
Nice.
She was also a people's person, always wanting to help, went out of her way for people, cooked for people. And you know, you don't realize it then until your mom is passed or they get elderly, and then you only realize as a child, and then you reflect on that. So at the time it wasn't, but if you ask him that question, it can only be because nobody else stands out for me that I can think was somebody. And maybe it wasn't even a conscious thing, Marshall. I don't even think it was conscious. It was an unconscious thing, because it's only conscious for me now. So yeah, if anything, I think it's it would be my mom.
Nice.
Yeah.
You say you're the youngest. When I read something about when you're the youngest in the face of the siblings, the children, you normally look for attention, right? And so, yes, you get all the attention. And sometimes your elder brother or sister feels like, why you? Why always you? And thus is you also a mother. Does the guilty thoughts come up to you when you rather give more of your time and your energy to your younger child? I'm speaking now, especially when it comes to your children, because there's a mother that sits in watching this video stating that she's so worried that she rather spend so much time on the youngest one, then she feels like, maybe the elders will do their own thing, and I will sit with regret. Why didn't I spend with them sometime? Do you think it is?
So I only have 2 children.
Okay.
And I think that, I suppose if you had to ask both of them, I don't think, well, I'd like to think, again, you know, we think we're doing something, maybe the children see it differently, but I actually don't think that. I think I gave the same to my children in terms of what their own personalities and what they needed. Still to this, I mean, my children are adults. The one's already also a parent now and so on. So I wouldn't say that I gave more to the other.
Okay.
I like to believe that I gave them both what they needed as children. Yeah. So I don't think maybe we should ask them. In fact, I'm going to ask them. Because I'd like to think that I was fair enough to both of them.
But what I'm trying to get out there is that in that moment, do you feel like that where that conscious mind comes up by stating that guilty conscious comes up by stating, I'm spending too much time with this one. That's why this one is acting that way.
Okay. Honestly, Marshall, I don't think I ever felt like that, because for each of my children, I think, if I think of who they are now, and I've seen them as adults, and maybe because I can see them as adults, and they're adults, but they're still around us.
Nice.
So maybe I'd like to just mention, so I'm very grateful for this, is that I have adult children, and most adult children, they leave the house, they go and start their own lives. Well, married one is still around the house, lives on the same property with us. So lucky for me, because then I can still see my granddaughter every day. Eldest daughter, not married, still in the house, and it's many people would say that when they get to that age, they must move out and so on. But our house is just such. I don't know how to describe it, but we just so at ease with having our children. And many times when I speak to people who don't see their children, then I think I'm more grateful that my children are around me. So often my husband and I would talk about, are these children going anywhere? So we've already accepted that our children are going to be around us, and they're not going to leave.
Yeah.
And I'm going to accept that, because if that's how it's going to be, then that's how it's going to be. So again, to come back, I don't think I can't remember ever feeling like I was giving one more than the other.
Okay, nice. Mooneera, you opened your business. I know you had a drive for pushing for goals, but when we're in a comfort of our lives by stating we're earning enough money, we're okay, everything is going all right, where did that urgency comes from? Because you will probably answer that question also about opening your business so late in your life. Where you, for instance, felt like, nah, I'm bored, or we're looking for more.
Yeah. So look, the thing is, I never ever thought I'd have a business.
No way.
You know, people think, oh, they're going to be entrepreneurs, they whatever. It was never, ever something I thought about. Never. Many people used to say like something like that, but it was never, even if you had to ask me, like, would I ever envisage where we are now?
Yeah.
No. So just in terms of my journey, right? So I had a full-time job, and then I was very grateful because my husband then said to me, okay, I don't have to work when our kids were much younger. I'm very grateful because he obviously has a good job, and so I could then stay at home. And then I dabbled in this and that, and then I had to obviously find my own place in the world again, because once you have a full-time job, then you have to go and find something else, because I didn't know then what that was going to be.
Yeah.
So over the years, I then did it, because, you know, I did a little bit of this network here, did a bit of this course. Anyway, eventually I found myself in the industry of education and training, working for many other providers, doing like facilitation for them, doing whatever it is that's necessary. And I did that over a while. And then, as I said, doing a couple of other things. And then I worked. Then eventually, because I then had gathered all this, the experience, and with that I could also see how people were operating and running businesses.
Okay.
And it still wasn't a thing until I worked with some people, and I realized I don't want people to tell me what to do. People giving me instructions, and I was like, don't tell me what to do. Because I then realized when that had happened, that, and it just happened, it still was not a thing for me until somebody was telling me, and I felt like I was being in a closet, and somebody was like pulling me, because then I realized, hey, you have your own ideas, your own thoughts, your own way of how you see business, how you see the world, how you see things. And I just said to myself, you know what, I want to have my own thing. I want to be the decision maker. I want to decide how things are going to happen. And even then, when I decided, I didn't have like, you know how they say when you start a business, you must have a business plan.
Yes.
You must have your vision. Marshall, I had none of that. I decided that I'm going to start this thing. I registered my own business. I went to did my own. I didn't even ask anybody. I went to the CIPC, did my own research, walked here, went to SARS, did everything on my own. And eventually, when I got the business registered, I knew I had to be accredited as a training provider. Did everything on my own. I just walked the journey with myself. I did what I wanted to do. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to just have like 2 courses that I have accredited, and that's enough for me. The one thing I was like really worried, I thought to myself, like, you know, there's like thousands other training providers that's doing exactly the same thing. How in heaven's name am I going to be out there? And I thought to myself, I'm like a, what is it, the little thing of the sand, a speck of the sand. I mean, that was the reality for me. But I can't tell you. I just said, you know what, I don't care about that. I'm just going to do my thing. Right? I will continue doing what I'm doing. However, I still knew really what lots of providers were doing, what I saw what they were doing, which wasn't not good, but I just thought they could do things better. And I decided that those are and there were simple things, and I decided that if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it better in my business. Anyway, so when I got my accreditation as a training provider, and that time you could set up at home. I didn't have to have an office space or anything. Did it at home. I had my audit at home and everything. And so I registered the business 2014, 2015 of August. well, I just had got my accreditation. I had known somebody for a very long time. And when I told that person said, come, you're going to come do the training for me.
Yeah.
That person found 10 people for the course. I found one. They gave the venue, they gave everything. And off I went, and I went to go and train the course for the first time in my own space. I knew the content, obviously, because I was doing it before. I trained the course. A month later or two, we had another course. He got more people, and so it went on. And then that was August, September. And then by the December of that year, because I had done the training, in our space we have to go through a formal audit process before people can get their results and so on. I then had gone through that audit on my own. I did everything. And the 5th of December 2015, I had what I called a certificate ceremony because I wanted to celebrate. Like, you know, what's her name? I still have pictures of that. My mom was also there that day.
Nice.
My mom cried.
Sure.
My mom went home and told my siblings that I own the building. My mommy was already struggling with dementia at that time. But my mom was there, got up and made a speech also in front of about 20 people. Anyway, because I then decided I wanted to have, every time we had certificates, to have the ceremony thing. And I did that up until just before COVID. So after COVID, we didn't do that again. Our last one was in 2019, and we had over 80 people at that certificate ceremony. So what I did was, Marshall, I actually, so as I said to you, it was never, I wouldn't even have thought I even would have gotten to where I am now. It wasn't because I didn't focus on the end goal of the business. For me, it was the environment that I wanted to create, the type of business. And I had this vision that in my head that I wanted a business that didn't necessarily have to have this hierarchical structure. I wanted a business where there isn't this rule. Yes, you must have policies and procedures and some rules to govern, but it had to be where, and so I used to read and listen a lot to a guy called Simon Sinek.
Yes.
And I bought his books and I kept on reading about him and he focuses a lot on people and trust and all of those kinds of things. And so I believed that I wanted to have this business where, you know, everybody that came and worked here felt that they belong here, number one, that I didn't have to manage. And so, and I feel that I've gotten, if you look at my colleagues, I don't have to manage them. I don't micromanage, I don't nothing. They do the work and we all work for the purposes of this business. And so the environment is that, so that whoever comes also into our business must feel that they feel welcome. They feel like they belong. It's like coming into somebody's home. And that also I learned from my mother. My mother was very hospitable. We had people coming into our house from everywhere. And my mommy made everybody feel welcome. And I think that of her personality that I got, and I wanted to bring it into my business as well. So I just wanted to flip this thing, and I still believe that I want to have this, you know, this business that, you know, you don't need to have managers and supervisors and somebody managing somebody, that we all work as a team where there's this absolute trust and communication between everybody. And so and for me also then it was that, and you know that I don't like to be called the boss. Nobody's allowed to do that in the office because I don't believe that, and I don't need, sorry, I don't know if this is I don't know how to say it. I just feel like I don't need to feel important. It's not important for me. I don't need to be elevated. I don't like any of that. I'm like anybody else. I work as hard as anybody else in this office and as my colleagues, and when I come in, nobody must treat me any differently. We must all be respectful of each other. So I must respect them for who they are, and the same, the respect for me. Not because I'm the boss, but because I'm an individual, the same like them. So then I had this thing that this is what I wanted to have as a business. It's not easy, Marshall, man. It's gone for so many years. I've had so much drama and so much people coming. Because the key thing is to find, and what I did work on, and what I always thought is that a business can only work if you have the right people.
Yes.
The right people who have the same values as you, who understand the world of you, who have the same. And so many people have come and gone, and they've only left because they don't fit into that. And so for me, besides people having the competencies of the knowledge and skills to be here, it's also about your fitting in terms of our culture and our brand that we create. And not everybody can fit into that, I can tell you, So it was, and that was a challenge for me. I'm very grateful for the team that I have now. I feel confident that the people we have now are going to take this business and to help. So, I'm not the social media person, so somebody else must do that. What you'd have also noticed is that many of my colleagues in the office are much younger than me. Much younger. So no discrimination against people of my own age. But I just feel like, lots of them, because they're younger, so but just over 30 and so on. But even if you must see me with them, you'd never say, we just like our colleagues.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't even know what was the question I was
No.
Yeah, so that is the thing with business is, I think it was, everybody talks, you must have this vision, whatever. And there was no mentorship and coaching. I just did things on my own. I never bothered anybody. I just tried and tested and kept on going. And if you had to ask me, like, if for anybody who's wanting to start, the one thing is, like many people, when we want to do something, we overthink things. We write things down. When is it? But it cannot happen if there's no action.
Sure.
Right? So when I started out, I kept on saying to myself, like, you have to run a course, right? How are you going to get people? So all I did was, I used to, because when I got my accreditation, you have to run a course because you have to get people. So all I did was, I just used to, and many people will say, oh, I want to do this. And I'm like, don't talk about it, man. Set the date and get people. And if 2 people come, you keep on doing it. And that's what I did. And in the time, I also worked for another provider, which was, I think, lucky for me because I could still work for somebody else while my business was growing.
Okay.
And in that time, I used to then do lots of my training on a Saturday. So every Saturday, I ran a course. So if I did a course, it would be over 4 Saturdays, for example.
Yeah.
Whether I had 2 people, whether I had 3 people, whether I had 4 people. And people came from other places that they would come and support and come and,
Nice.
and to come. And I just kept at it. And I think the one thing you have to learn is that, and I think for me, also at the beginning, I didn't want to see instant gratification or instant growth, whatever.
Yeah.
I was quite happy
Yes.
to set a foundation, a solid foundation, like you build a house or a building.
Yeah.
That solid foundation of knowing the processes, knowing what to do, knowing what it is that you want to give. And I think for me, it was always being professional in terms of with our clients and with the learners and the students that came, getting the statement of results and accreditation to them immediately, giving lots of support. Many providers, learners, you go there and once you finish on the course, they don't bother with you. We consistently, until we can't anymore, nobody's going to hand in a portfolio, but we try, and I used to keep at it. And that's all I did. I just tried to be consistent, kept on. And if there was, as I said, one person, I just kept on. And so that foundation was set. Although there were people coming and going, that was important for me. And look at this, I can't, nothing was perfect. There was some ups and downs and so on. But again, like I said, I just kept on. And I think if one of the questions is going to be like in terms of also the growth, again, when I got my accreditation and I started, the people and relationships that I'd known all the previous time, lots of them came and supported me. So where I find myself in this venue, the people that are here now, I knew them all the time. So when they supported me, they gave me the opportunity to have the space to run my training. And so I've been here in the same building for all the years. And as I said to you, everybody that I've met around all supported. And so I think I'm very grateful for that. And so to everybody, build strong relationships in your journey, because who's the people that's going to support you? Those people and you won't even actually realize what the people, because people will come to the fore that you didn't even know, but they'll be there for you and they'll support you for whatever. So in that way, I've been, I think, very blessed.
Nice. Mooneera, you started your business at the age of?
Just hold on, I have to think. I think I was about, what's it now? What's 11 years back now?
11 years is 2014. 2014, yes, because we're 2025.
Yeah, so yeah, 2014.
Mm?
Yeah, so I think I was about 46 or 47.
Sure.
Yeah, so nobody knows how old I am. But look, yeah, I'm not worried because many people, when I tell them my age, they actually can't believe it. They think I'm much younger. So I'll take that. Yeah, so it was my late 40s.
Were you, for instance, felt like, although you mentioned about foundation, but did you feel like, yeah, maybe I'm walking in a door that's already closed? Because that age, let's put the timeline in. That age, no, I don't have the energy maybe.
Yeah.
Although they say life begins at 40, but that's already deep in 40. So did you ever, for instance, feel like this is a risk? And it's a big risk.
Actually, no. I just went for it. I wanted to do it and I was just going to do it. Where it was going to take me, I actually didn't. I just went. And that time also I started studying as well. I started studying at UCT. I entered and I wanted to formalize all my qualifications. So I had all that experience that I'd gained. So when I got to about in my middle 40s, I decided, you know what, I need to start formalizing and gaining qualifications. So from 2012 I studied, 2013 I studied, 2014 I took a break, 15, 16 I continued, 17 I took a break, 18, 19 also continued, and I'm actually still trying to finish a qualification now. So in all of that I was studying also at the same time. So I didn't gain a lot of qualifications. So currently I'm trying to finish my master's in adult education. It's taking me a little bit longer than expected, but I believe that I will get there. So I have to say, Marshall, I actually, I don't think I ever felt like that. I just went on with it. I didn't worry. And I suppose it also the Simons, because Simon Sinek always says, he had this one thing that he said, like, you know, they always tell you when you got a business, you must know what your competition is doing and that, right? And I had this thing like, I said to myself, you know, if I knew where I want to go, if I knew what I'm wanting to do, I'm not worried about anybody else.
Yes.
Because if I must worry what somebody else is doing, and I always believed like, you know, when you do your competition and you do that, you have to compare apples with apples. And I always believed that I don't know what other people are doing, and how can I compare myself to somebody else? So I didn't want to compare myself. I wanted to have what I wanted to do, and I will continue just doing what I'm doing. I'm not worried. And so I didn't worry about many other things that others. I just had my own ideas, and that's what I had in mind. Whether it was going to work or not, I didn't know, but that's what I'm saying. I didn't want to like tell people what people wasn't telling me what I was doing. I wanted to whatever was in my head, and it felt right. So I'm a very when I think emotionally rather than analytically.
Is
about
it?
Things. Yes, I'm very much. It's about how something feels for me. Yeah. So that's what I went with.
Interesting. So during that 10 years period, did you felt like it's enough now, I'm done? Because you remember you mentioned about the loopholes, a lot of them. Did you felt like, nah man, it's okay, I'm just gonna leave this thing now, I'm done? Did the thoughts ever come up?
Look, I think there is, it is that especially when the team or the people that I was working with, because obviously the business was growing over time, right? Which means there was more work.
Yes.
And the more clients you have, the more difficult it is to just hang up the towel, because now you've got commitment to people and so on. So that was very difficult. But I have to say, I did have that kind of thought process that was going on, because it was just becoming, it just really felt like it. So I think there was the work and so on, but it wasn't, the puzzle pieces weren't like, it wasn't coming together for me. And it's funny because whenever I'd say that and I'd say it to a few people, they just like, it's okay, don't worry, it's gonna work out, and so it would that time would just go over, and something new would happen, and then I'd forget about it again, and so it happened a few times. But for some reason, whoever I go and moan, there's somebody you're gonna go complain to. I had enough of this thing now. Can't anymore. I think I must sell this business now, or whatever. And I said that a few times, and I went through that phase already. But as I said, the people I spoke to, they would like, no man, it's gonna be okay, or whatever, and it would just come and go. But your word is perseverance. When we bring that up. So I just persevered.
Mooneera, woman, right? You in business, in education, it's a bit of soft field, which I think women are geared for education. I think they can leave a legacy behind regarding education. But as us as males, right? I'm generalizing, but I'm not attacking any males because I'm also a male. And we can sometimes want to be dominated. And as you said about competition, you didn't care about competition. I assume you still don't care about competition. But somewhere at the back of your mind, although you're running a big business, that thought sometimes comes up because you think about clients. Why is this client moving away from me? So there's something else that the competition is doing that I'm not doing. So do you feel like, for any instance, although you say that you don't feel threatened about, or you don't care what other people is saying, that you don't get the respect, although you're not about the accolades, you don't about people praising you, but sometimes people can then look over, especially when it comes to women. You feel like you get the respect, you get earned, because sometimes I feel like, no, you need to charge less money to get that contract. Does that ever happen, and how do you deal with it?
Marshall, I think, yes, many times we do talk about the challenges that women face in business.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've thought about that, but I can't, in my journey, I can't say that I've ever felt that somebody, or felt that I was disadvantaged or looked over for somebody else. And you know what, even if I did, right, even if there was things that were happening, I always have this philosophy of my business that what's meant to be for me to have will be. Whatever is not meant to be, it's just not meant to be. And so I leave that. So many times we do quotations for companies, or we go through a process of tendering and all that kind of thing. You put in a lot of effort for that.
For sure.
But once I've done that, I immediately in my mind, I would say to myself, now you let it go. If it is supposed to be for you, the people will come back, and if it's not meant to be, and you move on. So I've always have that. No matter what has come, and I share it with my colleagues too. Don't bother if it's not meant. If it doesn't come back, just leave it. It's fine. Something else will come that's meant for us, and I want to know that if it's meant for us, it's going to be a good business. It's going to be whatever. And sometimes we get business that's also, I mean, we get into the business, we do it, and we do a great job. Might not be great projects or something like that, but I firmly believe in that.
Nice. You all about women empowering, right? For the guest that was so far for this month, I asked him, why is it so difficult? I'm going to ask you the same question. Why is it so difficult for women to believe in each other? Why is it difficult for women to work and to support each other? Why?
Yeah. Yes, I would also...
Maybe you have a different perspective. Then I'm sorry that I'm saying it that way. I'm just putting it out there.
Look, I experienced both already.
Is it?
Right? So I have experienced, like, where I meet other owners of businesses in the same thing, and they don't wanna look at you or smile at you, whatever. I don't know. I can't say what it is, but the females and the women in my network that I have, the people I know, we support each other. We would chat to each other. We check in with each other, and these are all obviously the people I've gotten to know over my journey and over my journey with work, or even in my personal life. So I know them in my personal life as well. So I think it's I can't answer the question. I don't know why people, if I see anybody, I'm not threatened by anybody. I believe that, you know, if we're working together, we should find a common, and even if there's no common, it doesn't matter. You just know each other and get to know and talk to somebody just because we are human beings and we just want to talk and get to know. It doesn't have to be anything about business. So, yeah, I don't know why people are threatened like that. I accept anybody. If somebody must talk to me, I'll talk to them. And yeah, so I can't, I don't know why it is like that when we don't want to even help and look after each other of the same sex, I suppose, if you can do that.
Yeah.
But definitely in my space, I've seen both, but definitely the people in my network, we support and help. And if I can, if I know people in my network have something that I need, I will always try to first support other small businesses in my own network before I go do anything else.
Cool.
Yeah.
There is ladies out there that they in this journey of starting their own business, and I normally call this the wisdom session. And they ask themselves that, okay, how do I make a start? You mentioned about stop saying things, start taking that leap of faith. But where does that, how can you push yourself to take that leap of faith? Because remember, you can hype me up, and when I watch this, we can...
No, of course, absolutely. And I've seen it already when you talk to somebody, and when you go back to me and say, did you do anything? No, I didn't do anything yet. Man, I don't have the answer. But I think if you have a deep, it has to be your deep, absolute deepest desire and motivation to do something. Because somebody can tell you everything, but it's that passion and desire that you must have to make you take that step. If you haven't taken the step, maybe it's not that much of a thing for you, and it's just a thing. Because I believe everything is about action. You have to take action in anything that you're doing. You can talk and yabba and think and whatever. If there's no action, no first step of whatever that step is, then it's just words or just thoughts. And sometimes people say, oh, you must write things down. Also, you can write all the things down. Still doesn't matter because it's only just on paper. You have to make the action of whatever it is. Whether that first step is to go and register the business. Whether that first step is to, like, I have a sister that sells kusistas and she's running quite a successful kusistas, but not in Cape Town, because in Cape Town that's already, she's gone to Joburg, she's making an absolute killing in Joburg, she's found a little place on a Sunday, she's selling so much, and it's always something that she did, and it wasn't even a thought, but there she's gone, and it's been so great for her. But it was the action of having to start and sell kusistas on a Sunday morning. With the 4 or 5 people you have to get that going. You see, so no matter what it is, and even if it's not for money in the beginning, if it's just something that you're doing, start the thing. If it's baking a cake or whatever, make the cake, let people know slowly. I think it mustn't be something like, I want to start and it must be like a big thing immediately. I absolutely believe that if that is your thing, then rather don't worry. You know, it must be something that you can, like, almost lay the foundation. So where you're doing something consistently, and I think I've seen this for me in my business and my experience from where I am now, from where I've come to now, is that foundation that I've laid. And I think you spoke about the competition and people leaving. I'm so grateful because the business has suddenly just become like a word of mouth thing. We get people coming all the time only through word of mouth, and people will tell you, I've heard it from this person, that person. And that can only be because, and I always tell people after a course, please tell people about your experience here, what you've experienced, etc. And most people go out and go and tell others. So I think that foundation, so if you sewing or making a garment or whatever, there's thousands of others, but you can stand out. I think you can stand out in terms of your consistency of the type of product, the service you give. I have no doubt that if you do those things, people will come back to you.
Sure. Mooneera, another question. You've been in the business for just over 10 years now. Yeah. Oh,
11, well, my own business now, it's actually
Yes.
11 years this year.
11
years, yeah.
Right.
But in the industry for quite a long time.
There is a business owner. He's running his business or she is running her business. What are the common mistakes that business owners do, or the red flags, if I have to say it like that, to be on the lookout for, so that they don't fall in the same trap by the second year or the third year, close down the doors? It didn't work because I meant to invest your time and your energy in something that blow up in your face in the next 2 years or so. It's not nice.
Yeah.
What is there that, because they need it, they really need it.
For sure. I think you obviously also have to understand your industry and your business that you're in, right? And I think if I think about it, if you're understanding where you are at and you understand your business, and for every business it's gonna, I think, be different. It's gonna be different for your industry and the type of business and which part of your business you're in. But it's also knowing, are you doing it for what's your purpose? Do you want to make money? What is it that you're wanting to do? Do you want to make money? Do you want to impact people's lives? Because I think people's purposes are also different, right? So I can tell you, for me, it was never about the money first.
Okay.
And it's still, we derive our passion for people development. Those are first and foremost things. The other things come. So I think it's also your purpose and why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's being aware of what that is. Look, businesses, it's not easy because there's so many variables and multiple things you do.
Yeah.
It's marketing, it's IT, it's the social media. It is, and I was saying to somebody the other day, I said, people talk about having a business, but nobody tells you as the business grows, all the other things that go on, the compliance you have to do, this, you must have financial, you must have this, you must see to this, then it's VAT, then it's this, and nobody prepares you for all of that stuff. And as you growing and so on, it's how are you going to market? Then it's your staff. When you have staff, it's about stuff that goes on, staff policies.
Yes.
You must know leave and what's all that kind of stuff. It is hectic. So I think for whatever your business is it you alone? Do you have some extra people that help you work? I think it's trying to stay on top of things and again trying to evolve as your business, because you cannot be doing the same thing now. If your business, if you see you're getting more and more business, more and more customers, you're making an impact, you have to evolve now. Okay, so what am I going to do now? In terms of because you have to manage your finances. Finances, you can't just leave it that as it is. So for myself, from the very start, I made sure I had like a bookkeeper to do all of that stuff for me, because that's not my expertise. And you must pay your taxes, you must do this, and you must pay staff, and you must have this, and all that kind of things. Not my expertise. If I can find somebody that support me and do that.
Nice.
And so I also found somebody who was a small business, also started out, and I got that bookkeeper to help me. So I don't have the recipe, I don't have the answer, Marshall, but all I'd say is be aware of your business, where you are at. You have to be conscious of what's going on around you.
For sure.
You cannot just, I'm doing the next thing, and know where you want to be and what it is. And then, and if you need help, ask people.
For sure, yes.
You have to ask people.
Yes.
If you feel like you're just not sure, just ask people. I hear of many people that, or many organizations that they run like business, like UWC, Stellenbosch University, I think does it. Even some organizations, they get funding, and then you can apply as a small business. Obviously, you can apply, and then they put you through like a 12-month program, and they give you training on all kinds of things and so on.
Nice.
And then they get a mentor and somebody to support you. So I've had quite a few people who have been in programs like that, and then their mentors or so on support them and so on. So there is that. You just need to find organizations who are doing that.
Nice.
And I mean, as I said, I also know people that have been on that type of training stuff. I sometimes do get the opportunity, but I never take it because I know I'm never going to attend because I'm always busy with something else. So there is that type of support out there. You just need to find it. Sometimes the government even have these programs where they advertise and they do it certain time of the year, and then you can apply to be on the program, and they obviously you need to meet certain criteria, and then you have to attend these training sessions, and they talk about sessions on marketing and all the kinds of things. Yeah.
Sure. Last question. Does money, the amount of money that I pay for contract or for service, influence quality? I'm speaking now when it comes to MILearning.
We don't, you can even pay, you're going to get 10 times more than even, because many people will, when we ask people for feedback, quite a few people say when they've attended, they've really got their value for money.
Yeah, yeah.
So although we have a costing and so on, if we have to go 10 times, we never say, oh, the costing was only this.
Yeah.
If we have to do a little bit more, go a little bit of the extra mile, that's the first thing we're going to do.
Yes.
Because it's always about the service and that extra that we do. And I think we do that for everybody. As I said, like people, if they've come on the course and they haven't handed in, for example, their portfolio, we take 2, 3, 4 months, and it's a phone call, it's a WhatsApp, it's an email. Where are you? What's happening? Can I help you? Whatever. We still give support, but we want the person to hand in the portfolio. And it's never about, you know what, that money is used up already, you can't get anything.
Yes.
We continuously help. So, no, it's not, because we don't think about it. It's really just first and foremost about our learners, our customers, and our clients, and making sure that we help them to get to where they want to be. Yeah.
Nice. Mooneera, MILearning, right? MILearning, what makes MILearning different from other providers? Although you don't look at your competition, but what is your selling point? You said it's all about family, it's all about people first. And also you answered just the question now about, it's not always about money, but overheads. There's overheads sometimes we need to think about also about that. But what is the selling point for MILearning?
You have to put that into words. To put it into words. Look, our slogan is preparing you for your best.
Yes.
That's our slogan, right? And I'd like to think that everything we do is about that. Our selling point, if anything, is that many people will go somewhere else and then they'll come here and they'll like, I wait so long for my certificate.
Sure.
Our selling point is we make sure that people don't wait long for their certificates, whether they're doing full qualifications, whether they're doing short courses. If anything, that's one of our key things that we do. And I'm talking now about the details. I'm not talking about our culture and our brand and all that. I'm talking about the actual things. And then, of course, as I said, we spend our time once the learners finish and they're paid, we don't leave it like that. We will try to get to you to hand in that portfolio. If you need extra help, if you need your support, if you do anything, we will keep. And many other providers, they don't want you paid, they don't worry about you. So with us, I think if anything, those are one of our really important things that we do, and that is stood out, and that people will always come back because they know. Many people, again, we've had people that have done a course somewhere else. Yeah. And then they come and repay and they redo the course here. They redo their course here and then they get the results and they get whatever. It's happened a few times.
Sure.
I've had people that attended the course elsewhere. They can't finish their portfolio and then they come for me to help them with their portfolio to hand in somewhere else.
Sure.
Because they didn't get good support and so on. So that's happened a few times.
Nice.
So many people, when there's issues or whatever, we sometimes get, we've had we get quite a few people who've been with other providers and that need a bit of support and so on. And somehow, I don't know what it is, but we always get somebody calling us, you know what, this has happened, can you help me out? And so we always try to help people, even if they were at another provider or they had some issues, we try to help wherever it is. MILearning
courses. If I now in the market for courses or for qualification in my career path, what can I get by MILearning? What is there that
so we focus on, the one component we focus on is developing and offering knowledge and skills for what we call for people who are in an adult education environment. When I say adult education, so it's people who work in communities and run maybe community sessions with the community, with anybody there, whether it be somebody that's in a corporate organization and in the training department of that. So any educator role, wherever you find yourself, whether you are instructor of first aid, whether you are doing first aid training or forklift training or anything like that, you are an educator. So coming to a facilitator course, knowing how to assess learning, the process that that learning goes through, so we focus on that. We also do a business admin qualification, which is a full qualification at NQF level 4. We do a management NQF 3 qualification. Audience would be people who are team leaders, entry-level supervisors who are now entering the management. So that course we do. We do end-user computing, which is the basics of Word, Excel, all of that. So we are accredited for all of those programs, as well as I said for the our courses that is relevant to educators. I think a key thing also for us is we do what we call hybrid learning. So we have people in the class and we have people online. So currently we have 2 people online from Angola and from Dubai on our courses. So doing online, and this happened just after COVID, we sort of mastered, well, I'd like to think that we've mastered this online learning with hybrid. And the types of tools and the apps that we use with our online learning, we always get really great feedback. Because even if it's online, people still feel like they're part of the class. People are still engaged. You know, people think when they come on the course, they're going to just sit, and then they realize, hey, Mooneera's keeping me on my toes. And I think that's one of the things out of COVID that has really expanded, because we managed to reach all of South Africa. We have people from everywhere. Like in our current course, we've got people from Durban, overseas, Joburg, and in Cape Town. So people in Cape Town don't necessarily have to sit in the traffic to come to the office anymore. They can sit at home and just join online. And I think we've sort of mastered this online learning, and we're looking forward to actually sharing that skill with people in the near future, where we're actually going to run a course to show people how to do online learning and the types of things that they can use. So many people do, they'll say they'll do Teams and Zoom and Google Meet and so on. But again, I'm not too sure what other people are doing, but we want to share with others what we do and how we, the types of things that we do to make sure that your online learning is still engaging and fun.
Cool. Where can I get more info?
So we have a website, which is www.MILearning.co.za. And then we have info@MILearning.co.za. There is a Facebook page, which is MILearning something. But this, I suppose if you Google no, not Google, if you Facebook search whatever, you'll probably find MILearning. We do have a WhatsApp number as well. So it's 083-236-8318. Wow, I can't remember that. It's 083, so you WhatsApp us, it's our business WhatsApp, 083-236-8318.
Cool.
I think that's correct.
Okay, so that is now, you mentioned Facebook, you mentioned WhatsApp, you mentioned also Google, Internet,
I think
Instagram also?
Yes, there is, but there is.
Okay. So guys, if you need any more info, you wouldn't be disappointed. Go and check the socials. Go check on, just go on Google, search MILearning. You will see the lovely work that we are currently doing. I don't want to speak about myself. It's Mooneera here. Anyways, Mooneera, last question. I said 5 minutes ago, last question. Is there hope for the ladies in South, or for the women in South Africa?
I think there's hope for anybody. If you're wanting to start a business specifically, I think there's hope for anybody. It doesn't matter what you do. I will never, even if there's 100 other people doing the same thing. I had another friend also doing, and like we always used to say, you know what, there's work for everybody. You must just go and find out where it is, and you just need to network. But I think there's hope for anybody. If you want to start a business, you get on with it. Don't worry about all the stuff. Just action, 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 and be consistent in what you're doing.
Nice.
Don't start and stop, whatever. If you're feeling down, just carry on again. Make that kusista again. Make that clothing item again, and you keep at it. But you must obviously do it with passion, and you need to be professional and provide good service to people.
Mooneera, I don't know at this current moment how big this is, but I know there's a lot of people that will be in the reach by the information that you just said. Thank you for pouring out. Thank you for just giving us hope. Thank you for lifting women up. Thank you for inspiring. Thank you for showing us the true meaning, the tangible meaning of perseverance. Today we had first-hand experience of perseverance. How you managed to, didn't think about, I can maybe add into what the youngsters call, they call it late blooming.
They also call it lifelong learning. That's the other word we always talk about, lifelong learning.
So, you just showed us that don't worry about whoever runs their race. You've got your own race. You will reach at the end. You will reach the end line, and then you will have your victory, and then you will get your medals. So thank you for that. Thank you for being a mother for us in this working space, where you say you're not a boss, you're a mother, and that also translate or go over to when you do the service. Whoever sits in class will feel so much at ease and at peace, because the motherly figure is there in. You know, when it is in households, sometimes children are so afraid to approach their mothers because judgment. Someone told me, my mentor also that I have, he told me that judgment can also be seen as something positive.
Yeah.
It starts to now getting full circle, where I start realizing, okay, judgment is not just there for negative things. So thank you for just let us believe in ourselves. Thank you for pushing through. No matter what you faced in life, it wasn't easy, but today you can sit here and just, as you said, you don't think about it anymore, because you are so goal driven, you're so focused about what is currently happening now and make sure that this is working. That is not everyone that thinks like that. So I want to commend you for that. I want to commend you for taking time to sit here. You're still busy studying, but I know you will make it a success, because whatever you touch will be success. I'm gonna make it personal. Thank you for sowing in my life. There's a lot of things that I started learning in this last 2 years that I'm here with you guys, and they just elevated me on another level and pushed me to be the people's person. And I remember a couple of years ago when you and Tosca contacted me, I wanted to it's because of you and Tosca, because I wanted to give up in our community. And this people-ness mindset and heart of you pushed me also to think that, Marcel, if we can make a difference in someone's life, just go for it. Yeah. Don't worry about how they perceived you at first. Somewhere along the line, the narrative will change. Thank you for that. In Mooneera, although you're not one for accolades, but may my learning grow just from strength to strength. May it goes heights that you couldn't imagine. You have a wonderful team working with you, and I know you guys are gonna just keep on killing and breaking doors down to just leave that mark behind of who Mooneera is. And that is what MILearning is standing for, Mooneera. And although she doesn't want to, but I need to give you your props. As I normally say, that the young people say, let's give the person their flowers. Today, we as Wisdom of Solomon is giving you flowers. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much. And I know you always believe in yourself. And I know that you are also try to stay focused and strive. With focus come positivity, and you don't let something bog you down and pull you back. And a lot of ladies and women can look up to you by stating that it's okay. If it doesn't work out now, it will work out in the future. And if it's not for me, it's okay. Something will work out for me. So thank you for that. And yeah,
Can I just add in one thing? I think surround yourself with good people. Surround yourself. Don't worry with the people that don't do good and make you feel good. And for them, I think that's important.
Yeah.
You have to surround yourself with the right people.
Nice. You know,
Thank you,
why?
Marshall.
Thanks to you. Why wouldn't you want to be? I know Mooneera is not hands-on anymore with the training, but why don't you want to reach out to MILearning and get first-hand experience of who Mooneera really is? And
Not just me and my colleagues. I've got some great colleagues here. Me and my colleagues.
So, guys, don't think twice. Just go on the social media, go on the internet, go and look for MILearning. You will see. You will be surprised of what you will get out of whatever education field you want to go into. You will definitely get triple value for your money. So this is our third guest for the month of August. Hope, Perseverance. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for, I know you will, after this, you will believe in yourself. So yeah, till we see each other in the next time, take care. God bless. Thank you so much, Mooneera.
Thank you, Marshall. All the best to you.
Thank you. Did you enjoy it?
Yes. No, you made me think and talk about